What's up, Big League? It's your host, Luke Bame, and we're back. It's been a long time, I know. We went on hiatus a little bit, lost some sponsorships. I was even fired at some point. But I think it's time that we get this show back on the road. Don't you agree? Starting off with this, though, as our first sponsor of the evening is Michelob Ultra, pure gold. It's so crisp to the taste and organic as well. What are you doing on Tuesday, All right, let me just get this set up here. Even though we are back on, I am limited to my camera crew. All right, so what a crazy few weeks it's been. A lot of posers, a lot of people who are real. You got a lot of douchebags. You got some dream ruiners that are in the league now, and some people that just simply don't care. But we're going to talk about not so much about the matchups to come, but more of what's been going on. What are the feelings? Who's looking like they're gonna go all the way? Things like that. Who's gonna make it to the playoffs? Who is potential? So, we're gonna go to the league. All right. So I'm looking at the standings currently. Starting at number 1, going all the way down, you got Pussy Medek Machette as number 1. Okay, he's 8-1. 1 week he lost. No brainer. It's when McCaffrey was on a bye. That's his bread and butter. There's no question. Is his team good without him? Yeah, sure. He's got some good players. If McCaffrey the one that's going to take him all the way? Or is he going to be the one that's going to fuck him at the end? I don't know. We'll see. A lot of whispers around the grapevine are thinking 4th place for this young man. 2nd place, currently, Creamy Beige. Head coach Charlie Hodgins, 7-2. Very consistent. And really held on to his squad with Mahomes being hurt. He's on a 4-win streak, which is pretty impressive. He's one of the, I think he's the highest scoring team in the league right now. Yep, he is. He's got Forrester beat by 17 points. Is Charlie's team real? I'd say it's pretty damn good. Is he feared? No, because at the end of the day, it's Charlie, and we all know how that ends. He hasn't won a ship since Vietnam. So, 3rd place, prior champion, the silent one, the one who doesn't talk, the man of few words, Big Mike. Big Mike is a respectable 6-3 right now on a 5-win streak. He has the highest win streak in the whole league right now. Let's keep that in mind. 5-win streak. That's very strong. His best move he made all season, no question, no argue, is getting rid of Julio for Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones had a great game first week he had. It was unbelievable. It was like close to 50 points or something like that. And then, last week he had a 3-point game, but the entire Green Bay offense played terrible. The Chargers whooped their ass. Will Aaron Jones be more productive in the upcoming games? Absolutely. Is Julio Jones a beast that he got rid of to Forrester? Yeah. But who's on the better team? Gonna have to go with Aaron Jones. Moving on. Number 4. The one that people just never suspect. Not one championship title, but he's in the mix. He's 5-4. Mr. Ryan Freeman. Ryan is on a 3-win streak. Has a respectable team. And I actually traded with him, which people thought was a dumb trade, but let's face it. He's got Sanu, who is on the Patriots now, And after what I saw last week, Tom Brady has some faith in you, boy. So it actually ended up being a pretty damn good trade for Ryan. As for LaShawn McCoy, it's a hit or miss. Last week, it was Williams. Williams broke it off. Corey dropped him. I so happened to pick him up just because I don't have that much depth in running back, but I wasn't expecting him to break that one. And, everybody, it's obvious. If he didn't break that run and play, he probably didn't put up that much. But he did. And McCoy has been their number one guy lately, but we'll see. We'll see what that mixes up into. Now, this is the most confusing part, which I'm about to get into right now, is the number 5 position right here. The comeback kid of the year. The retard, if I may, of the league. You tell this guy to come play football, he shows up with a basketball. You know what I mean? Like, the kid is absolutely stupid. He's on a 2-lose streak, which is, about time. He's starting to go downhill, and I play him this week. So he's going to be on a 3-lose streak, and, I have this little Reaper alter ego that I like to play, and he's going to be in my backyard for sure. And it's going to be the biggest circus funeral you ever seen. It's going to be hilarious. But as for him, I mean, his team it's really garbage. There's like I look at it and I start to regurgitate a little bit. I don't know where he's at. So there's not much I can say more about that. But now to the 6th position. This obviously is going to be a little biased because it's me, them boys, sitting in that 6th spot, 5-4, on a 1-game lose streak. Last week I had some buys, had some elites out. Drew Brees, hometown hero. People say, oh, he's not a fantasy quarterback. I beg to differ. I think when he comes back and he's got a fire under his ass being out all those weeks, and I think he's going to be 3 touchdowns minimum a game here on out, especially with Michael Thomas, dude. Unbelievable. And let's don't forget I didn't have Cooper Kupp either. And everybody knows Cooper Kupp is like steal of the draft this year, in my opinion. Am I real? Of course I'm going to say I'm real. I'm a prior champ. I think I'm going to get there. I don't think I'm going to be in a buys position, but I think I'm going to make it to the playoffs and have to fight my way from the bottom. But we'll see. And as for that's your top 6. So like I said, if it ended today, those top 6 would be in the playoffs. So let's talk about, before we move on to the other scrubs, if any of these guys think will sustain their position into the playoffs. Jeremy Forster, already a lock. The man's going, and he's probably going to get a bye week. Good luck, and good job. Creamy Beige will be in the playoffs. Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger will be in the playoffs. Fireballers. I think Freeman will make a show in the playoffs. Comeback kid. Sorry, pal. You're going to fall out of ranks. Them boys going to make it in the playoffs. So to me, that leaves 1 spot. And there's 6 more people to talk about. Let's see who's going to get it. Next, number 7, the villain. The trash of the league. The shrimp. The sludge. The one no one respects. And I think he likes it that way. 4-5. 1-game lose streak. His team it's a coin flip. He could come out one week, score 79 points. He could come out the next week, score 139 points. These guys don't seem that dependable. I think he's a terrible coach. I think he's way over his head in this league this year specifically. He has yet to change his draft strategy, and I think for that, he's going to screw himself. And I think he might just be right there. Just miss it. Next, Sneef. Sneef has got my attention because he's been making a lot of moves. He's been changing his whole team. One with Forrester, which is a controversial trade, as some may say. It passed. It was fair. But you got rid of Russell Wilson. A lot of people are going to ask themselves, why would you get rid of a average 30-point per week quarterback? You know, and Russell is just, around this time of the season, when it gets closer to the playoffs, the better he performs. And then you want a Latavius Murray, which you do have Kamara. So it's not like you're not gaining a handcuff too. And yes, obviously Murray did prove himself when Kamara was out. But let's face it, I mean, Kamara is Kamara. He's going to get that load. And Murray's going to go back to, 8-10 carries a game at best, I believe. And let's talk about your other trade with me. I gave you the championship combo, my championship year. You have Kamara and Gurley now. That's what took me to my promised land. Now, Kamara's the same, Gurley's not. But as much shit as people talk about Gurley, I don't think he's as bad as people making him out to be. He's consistently putting up an average of like 15 points, I'd say. I think he's going to get more involved and he's going to produce more as the season goes to an end because the Rams have been losing games, so they have no choice. All this, let's win games and preserve Gurley at the same time, I think that shit's out the window because you're losing games. So I think Gurley's going to perform well for you as long as, he stays healthy at that. You lost Keenan Allen for that trade, which it's like what for what? Wide receiver 1 for RB1. And, Keenan Allen with the Chargers, I ain't going to lie to you. He's a beast, but it all depends on how the game flow's going. He ain't that go-to guy the whole game. I think it depends on how the game's going with him. So it's not like a Michael Thomas who's like guaranteed going to get all those catches and all those targets. So they got a lot of targets, a lot of players to pass the ball around on that team. And I don't even have to really keep going. But Sneef, I think you're going to get that 6th spot in the playoffs. Now let's move on to the scrubs of the league. Luke Pa, 3-6. Nobody can catch more bad luck than this man this season. At first it was Freeman because he was putting up mad points in the beginning of the season. He was just like playing the high-scoring team, which I think is over with, and it's finally turning up. But Luke, you just, you're at a part where like you're not out of it, but I just don't think you're gonna make it this season. And David Johnson is a turd. And I'm gonna move on. Bearded Wonder. Not 1, not 2, 3. He's on a 3-lose streak. I'm going to just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. What were you thinking during the draft? 5 running backs in a row? And, look where that's got you. You're in the 10th spot, and a couple of those running backs, it's like they weren't even good. They were gambles. You had players on this board where you're like, oh, he's a sure thing, and you could have had him the 3rd, 4th round, but no, you did all these podcasts and and valued yourself for all your fantasy knowledge to what? To be in 10th place, 3-6. I don't know. It's questionable. I expect more out of you, Mr. 'Scanduro, for all that you talk. Now, the last 2. the prior champ, which a lot of whispers around the league are saying this is proof that it was such a fluke-ass champion last season. He's 2-7. Cream of Lou. He's even still, he has the audacity to still have a picture of him with the belt on as his icon. And why he still has the belt, it is his. He earned it, I guess. And, he better appreciate it now because it's definitely leaving that house. And to the last team, number 12. The one that'll probably end up in a costume next draft. And, I think it's going to be a ball sack or something like that. And like a vagina mask. And this is the most disappointing team to me this year because he used to be a god amongst men in fantasy. He's a 2-time champ. He used to be somebody that was so respected and feared and just, whispered around his footsteps. The unbeatables. And shame on you. Shame on you for even maintaining that franchise name because, sir, you are on a 5 lose streak. 5. You're 2-7. You have the lowest scored points in the league. So your position at 12th place is righteous. It's deserved. You're trash. Your team doesn't want to play for you anymore. I think you've completely lost control of your locker room. And, I don't know if it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you have to do this off season, but you really got to regroup yourself and figure out where you went wrong. And probably fire everybody, But at your top 12, not going to go into this week's matchups. I just wanted to do a little something. It's been a while. Just got the studio back up. Still looking at hiring a new crew and doing some new things. Probably next week start some coach interviews as it gets close to the end of the season. But it's grind time, boys. So may the best team win. This is a very important week. And we're getting close to the playoffs. Good luck to you.